Hey everybody, it's starting to look like fall in the icebox of the nation, and it's starting to get a little creepy out there. That's right, it's October. It's nearly time for Halloween. We're just a couple of weeks out, and we want to thank all of you for coming on and once again downloading an edition of Radio Icebox here at the Icebox Radio Theater. Hey, just a few reminders. We have a website at iceboxradio.org. We also have a Facebook page. If you'd like to go and like that, that would be wonderful. And I do want to remind everybody once again that we have a public radio show that's called the Icebox Radio Theater Listening in the Dark 4 Creature Feature. And if you enjoy public radio, if you listen to a public or a community radio station, hey, give them a call or drop a line and let them know that if they go to prx.org, they can license this fun and scary show for their own broadcast pleasure this coming Halloween. Something a little bit of a change of pace from War of the Worlds that everyone always plays anyway. Thanks again for your very kind attention, and now, on with the show.
Following audio drama is rated PG for parental guidance.
This doesn't happen.
I know.
You had to have missed something.
I didn't, I swear.
Dr. Graves was there taking part in your charade seance?
Thanks, by the way.
I said I was sorry.
And then a real ghost shows up?
There's no such thing.
We both saw it.
Yeah.
Yes, but you admit the whole thing was a ruse to fool Jennifer.
Yeah.
Which you were doing why, by the way?
Yeah.
Whatever it was, I wasn't doing it. Is it really more important than Dr. Graves' disappearance?
Yeah.
Jennifer?
Okay, maybe it isn't that important, but I still want to know.
I do too, but first we have to figure out what happened to Dr. Graves.
Just tell us, Cody.
What? Me?
Who else? You already admit you were messing around up there, setting up equipment for an illusion. Just confess and let us know what you and Dr. Graves are doing.
For the last time, nothing. This is the real Rudiger.
There is no real Rudiger.
There is. And he's angry at Dr. Graves and possibly took him to the great beyond or something.
Look, even if Rudiger is a ghost, and I'm not saying he is, but if he is, he doesn't live in the great beyond.
He doesn't live at all.
Well, whatever. The point is, Rudiger supposedly stays in Dr. Graves' root cellar. Have we thought of looking there?
What, go to Graves Manor?
Well, sure, maybe the doctor's already there, having a laugh at our expense.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
What? What is it?
Nothing at all. Go ahead, check the haunted house.
And you're coming with me.
What?
You're coming with me because you're going to see once and for all there is no such thing as ghosts.
Leaving aside the point that you're wrong and there totally are ghosts.
JJ.
Leaving that aside, I have a lot of work to do. And an air shift in an hour.
Jazz in the afternoon, I know. We'll be over and back in less than an hour.
Take Cody.
What?
I don't trust Cody.
Hey.
Besides, he has to stay here and apologize to Jennifer.
Yeah, you were hazing me after all.
Hazing? Yes.
See? You're the only one that can come with me.
Wait a minute. If there's no such thing as ghosts, why don't you just go by yourself?
Just get in the car, JJ. I don't believe it. It's really like a haunted house in here.
Have you never been here before?
No, Dr. Graves always came to the opera house to drop off his scripts.
Furniture's all so old, and look at the dust.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Do you smell that?
Smell what? Thanks a lot.
Smell that. It's not dust. It's baby powder.
You're right. Hey, there's a big rubber rat on the table.
And those spider webs look fake, too.
Okay, what's going on?
I don't know, but look at this. Our spooky haunted house atmosphere was on cassette.
Amazing.
I know. Why would he go to all this trouble?
No, I mean he has a working cassette player. That's amazing.
Ugh, gear geek.
Guilty. And I guess you're right. The haunting of Graves Manor is mostly in the doctor's imagination.
Mostly?
Okay, entirely.
I hope you learned your lesson.
There was a lesson?
Well, there's always a lesson. And the lesson is Abby is always right.
Really?
Well, of course. I said there was no such thing as ghosts, and I'm right. Turns out the most haunted house in town owes it all to a Halloween supply catalog. I mean, look at this mannequin of an old gypsy woman. Have you ever seen anything so fake?
Good evening.
Woo!
Do not be alarmed. I am accused of being false all the time.
You scared me to death.
I can sit perfectly still for hours. It is a talent I developed as a girl, traversing the country in the gypsy caravans. Sit still, my papa would yell. And I did.
Who are you?
I might well ask you the same question, trespasser.
Oh, we're JJ and Abby from the radio station. We're looking for Dr. Graves.
What do you want of him?
Well, we're looking for him.
He left the station suddenly, and we wanted to make sure he was okay.
You are lying.
What?
Not entirely, though. I see deception in your eyes, but there is truth also. He did leave your station quickly, but in a way that concerns you. Yes! He has been sucked through a portal to the great beyond.
How did you know?
I know many things. I am Madame Biola, seeker of truth, and house guest of the good doctor.
What?
I am on my way to Toronto and need a place to stay. The doctor was good enough to offer one of his guest rooms. We used to date, you see.
Oh.
Oh, nothing now, of course. I am very happy with a young fireman from Chicago.
Well, who wouldn't be?
What?
Madam, we really need to find Dr. Graves. I think there might have been some kind of accident at the radio station.
There was no accident.
There wasn't.
Of course not. He has been sucked through to another realm. We must go to the opera house and save him.
Wow.
You are the manager, correct?
Yes.
Good. I get $200 a day plus expenses.
What?
To the radio station!
She disappeared.
Sorry, forgot my coat.
I don't know what to do.
Look, she's in the car.
Let's go, mortals. We are burning daylight.
Time now for news headlines from Radio Icebox. Our top story, Fred Albertson of 455 4th Street was charged with disturbing the peace Friday evening when he was discovered by police brandishing a shotgun in front of his garage while continually demanding that persons hiding within show themselves. When officers arrived, Albertson informed them that his wife Myrna was the source of his concern. When officers pointed out that his wife Myrna was clearly standing on the porch in a lovely floral print house dress, Albertson responded, "That's just what she wants you to think." Albertson then suddenly emptied his shotgun into the garage wall. Police took the weapon and arrested the shooter. Mrs. Albertson attempted to post bail for her husband early Saturday morning, accompanied by her triplet sisters, or at the very least 2 women that looked and dressed exactly like her. Mr. Albertson requested incarceration through the weekend. Footprints from a large bipedal hominid were spotted in the soft ground along the lakeshore last night by Mr. and Mrs. Frederick Soma, who were taking their 12-year-old Datsun banana boat for a walk. The footprints, which measured 18 inches in length and showed a stride of over 6 feet, appeared to head down from the woods around the community cemetery, then along the beach for a quarter mile, before disappearing back into the woods west of Lake Avenue. Mr. and Mrs. Soma decided not to pursue the tracks owing to their dog's advanced age and Mr. Soma's gouty elbow.
The candles must be arranged in exactly the right formation. A triangle within a circle within a square.
I can't believe you're doing this.
Me? He's the boss.
I'm the boss now?
You always were the boss.
Really?
Your title is program director, JJ.
Okay, get me a cup of coffee.
Get it yourself.
That's what I thought. And I didn't give permission for this.
Quiet, all of you.
Oh, have you started?
Of course not, but these tallow candles are never flat on the bottom. I got to get them sitting just right, or they tip over and burn the place down.
Why don't I help?
Why don't you? Get down here, fatty.
Hey.
What'd I miss?
Where have you been?
Air shift? I do a novelty song mix in the afternoons. What did I miss?
Cody, this is Madame Biola.
Hello.
Hi.
She's the old gypsy woman who was staying with Dr. Graves. She's here to have a seance to bring him back.
You are the one who called upon the evil spirit.
No, I didn't. I was doing a prank.
Intent has nothing to do with it. It was your doing that led to Dr. Graves' disappearance.
It's not my fault. Rudiger just shows up sometimes.
Silence! You must take a place at the head of the circle.
What circle?
The circle there. Right there, on the floor.
Oh, I thought that was a square.
It's a square within a circle.
Come to think of it, how can you sit at the head of a circle?
Silence, all of you. Young man, see where I am pointing.
Yes.
Sit there.
Okay, you don't have to be such a witch about it.
I am not a witch. I am an old gypsy woman. Know your horror tropes.
Ooh, where do I sit?
Opposite me, right here.
Okay.
Is she going to ask us?
Don't care. This is ridiculous.
Young girls, I need you here and here.
On the other hand, she did call us young girls.
What?
Come on, get in the circle.
Abby, I don't think that's a good idea.
Young lady, please. You must join us if this is to work.
I don't... Look, I'm really sorry, but I don't think I can do this.
What's wrong?
You guys are all very nice and everything, but I can't do this anymore.
What?
Things are just... They're just too weird around here.
Jennifer!
Well, what was that all about?
Yeah, you'd think she'd never seen broadcasters form a seance circle in the attic before.
I know what it was.
What?
Isn't it obvious? Jennifer's not who she pretends to be.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Vaguely, it's like trying to read a book through opaque glass.
Ooh, literary.
I know. Madame Biola's got me in the mood.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any chance we can get this thing underway?
Cody, what do you mean Jennifer isn't who she appears to be?
I guess not.
You know how we were all kind of suspicious, how she just appeared one day, offering to work for free?
Sure.
I don't think it was an accident that she just showed up. I think she was sent here.
Sent by whom?
The FCC.
You guys are in up against the feds. No wonder their building is haunted.
Not haunted.
Fine, possessed then.
Whatever. What's this about the FCC?
He thinks they're sending spies around.
What? Oh, that's crazy.
No, it's not. It's the only thing that makes sense. Do you know this woman just showed up to our door offering to work for free? Does that make sense?
It makes more sense than the FCC sending spies. Why would they?
Never mind.
No, I really
Do you
think...
want your $200 or not?
Fine, fine. I get it. But whatever you did, the FCC is still the federal government. They don't need to send spies. They just need to show up with a subpoena, and you have to tell them everything or go to jail.
Hey, that's right.
What, you're just now realizing that?
No. I've been an idiot. Jennifer, come back.
Kind of a soap opera around here, isn't it?
You have no idea.
And I should know. I've written a pretty good treatment for a soap opera that would be beautifully adapted to radio, huh?
I'd like to think that you came and went.
Time now for the community calendar here on Radio Icebox. The Icebox Community Wicca Council, consisting this year of Barb Olson and Margie Roberts, will be holding their annual Samhain Correction Festival Saturday afternoon in the Municipal Library and Liquor Store's meeting room. This is the 9th year the Wicca Council has held an event that attempts to educate the public about the commercialization and wild inaccuracies of modern Halloween. This year's festival, suitable for all ages, features positive role model face painting, a lecture on the common plants of the region and which have health benefits, and how the cultural construct of a green-skinned, black-hatted witch is actually worse than Hitler. Festivities begin at noon, and admission is 2 cans of food. Coincidentally, you can head from the Samhain Festival immediately to the Icebox Evangelical Church of Presbyterian Lutheranism, Rhode Island Synod, for the youth group's annual haunted house, beginning at 5. This year's theme is Blood on the Altar, and the youth group still needs some actors to fill in missing roles. Parts currently available include 2 zombies, a psychopath, the ghost of a dead hooker, and a plague victim rapist. See Pastor Don for more information. Film buffs are invited to the home of Connie Lewis Saturday night for a retrospective of the experimental work of North Dakota mogul David Big Gene Dupree. Dupree's work in the exploitation or drive-in genre was made famous in the early 70s with such films as Prison Laundry Brazier Babes and Foxy Chocolate vs. the Honky from Hell. Connie would like to assure the Film Society regulars that this will be the last time she lets her husband pick the movies. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I agree. Wouldn't be Halloween without a good scary story on the radio. So part 1 of The Vampire will air today, I promise. Yes, thank you. I am pretty frightening. Bye-bye now.
Thanks for giving me a break, boss.
Have the calls been coming in like this all day?
No, only in the last hour. People are looking forward to this show. Halloween is kind of a big deal around here.
Of course it is. So, where'd Cody go?
Don't know. Chasing Jennifer, I assume.
Okay, where's Jennifer?
Disappeared, too.
Well, you have to be on the phones, and I'm supposed to be doing my live jazz show right now.
Uh-huh.
But somebody's got to be upstairs making sure Madame What's-Her-Name doesn't burn the building down.
Is she getting impatient?
No, she doesn't care. She gets paid by the day, whether it's doing her nails or raising the dead. She's just up there reading werewolf erotica on her Kindle.
Well, I think the town can handle a couple of long sides. Just put on an album and head upstairs.
I guess I'll have to. One thing, though.
Yeah?
Cody told me he wasn't exactly done with the show. I'm not sure what work needs to be done before it airs tonight.
Ugh. Sometimes I wish we got cell service in town.
Oh, tell me about it. Quitting smoking was easier than giving up that phone. I gotta ask you something, though.
What?
Well, you've been in the radio business a lot longer than me.
Well, I wouldn't call working here being in the business.
You know what I mean. Is there any chance Cody's right?
That Jennifer is an FCC spy?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with no. I think our Madame Biola, the medium and media expert, is right. The FCC doesn't need spies.
Okay. Poor kid.
Who, Cody?
Yeah. I think he's a little confused about, well, everything. The two of them obviously like each other. Then he got it in his head that she was a spy for some reason, and now he's driven her away.
Yeah, the heart does strange things.
Yeah. Sorry.
What?
Sorry about, well, the general clumsiness of my pitching woo.
You really like calling it that, don't you?
I kind of do. It's so ridiculous it makes the overall ineptitude of me seem less ridiculous.
You're not that inept.
Really?
I've had worse.
Really?
JJ, I was in a sorority for a while.
I understand. So, I was thinking after the show, after we get Dr. Graves back, I was thinking maybe,
Cody!
I'm here. Sorry.
Where's Jennifer? Is everything okay?
No time. Gotta get the vampire thing done.
Yeah, but do we still have an intern?
Do I look like a mind reader?
Well, that didn't sound good.
So, anyway, I was thinking dang it.
JJ, you have a show.
And you have the phones, right.
But, JJ?
Yeah?
Hold on to that thought you were having.
Yeah?
Yeah. Icebox Radio, this is Abby. Can I help you?
Okay. Okay, everybody, it is time once again for Radio Icebox Playhouse here on our station. Thank you so much for tuning us in, and I know this has been a much-anticipated play. Thank you for putting up with the delays, for right now we have part 1 of The Vampire. The Vampire.
Moskowitz, Mia, age 24.
Too young.
Bachelor's in criminal science with a minor in pre-law.
Too damn young.
Master's in forensic chemistry, top of my class, youngest graduate ever.
Way too young. And this is way too important.
He doesn't like me.
I don't like you, Moskowitz.
At least he's honest.
And your age is just one reason I don't like this, and not the biggest one.
Could I ask what the biggest reason is, sir?
It's Sergeant, and no, you may not.
Is it because I'm not military? I was in the Civil Air Patrol.
Well, whoop-de-diddly-do. I'm sure that experience will come in very handy in your future endeavors.
I hope not. I'm a forensic chemist.
I don't care.
Do you
if you're...
even know what a forensic chemist is, you hulking Neanderthal?
Why, you
I mean,
little...
if I'm not military, I might as well take advantage of it and have some fun, you southern fried, inbred redneck.
They told me you had spunk.
They told me you needed someone non-military.
And on that point, my superiors and I do not agree, and inbred is below the belt.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so the accent gave me away. But being born in the holler and staying there are two different things.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, Sergeant.
And I didn't mean to have this conversation at all, but here we are. There.
What is it?
Pick it up and read it.
I'm not picking up anything until you explain what all this is about.
It's your mission.
I'm a civilian. Civilians don't have missions, they have jobs. And jobs, I should point out, are strictly voluntary.
You'll be compensated.
How much?
Well, the student loans for starters.
Very generous. Pass.
Could I ask...
The price comes too high.
You don't even know what the price is. You haven't read the file.
I just have a feeling, so if you'll excuse me, I'll be going.
Anderfor.
What did you say?
Dr. Roger Anderfor. An acquaintance of yours, correct?
I interned with him, but that's impossible. He's...
Dead? Yeah, that's what he wants everyone to think.
We had a memorial service. We had a party.
You didn't like him?
We all loved him. It was... What do you call it? A wake. This isn't possible.
Well, actually, it happens more than you might think. People disappear for all kinds of reasons.
Dr. Anderfor is alive?
And working like a little beaver up there in Canada.
I don't understand.
You're a Canadian national, yes? From, Fort Francis, Ontario?
Well, Mom was from there. Dad was from the Falls. International Falls. Minnesota. It's a border town. We all kind of ran back and forth.
So, which are you?
I'm a U.S. citizen.
With, according to this, a Canadian passport?
Look, that was just for a trip to Europe. Things go a lot smoother over there with a Canadian passport.
Yeah, I'll bet. Look, I don't care how many passports you have. I just want to know, are you a Canadian national?
I've never really lived there, but yes.
You have family up there?
Tons.
Get in touch with them. You're coming for a visit.
Why would
We
I...
think he's done it, Ms. Moskowitz. We think he's completed his work.
Dehydrated oxygen therapeutics?
If that's a long way to say freeze-dried blood, then yeah.
It was never blood. It was artificial blood. We can make it, but we can't store it very easily. Dr. Anderfor was working on a way to dehydrate it.
Funded, in case you didn't know, by Uncle Sam. You can imagine how us redneck army morons might be interested in blood plasma that keeps in any weather and just takes a little water to save a soldier's life.
It would revolutionize battlefield medicine.
Which is why we were so surprised when he faked his death, left the country, and picked up his work while hiding out in the bush.
He has a lab?
He has a compound. 2 buildings plus an old cabin. It's on an Indian reservation, and those folks aren't letting anyone near him. Figure he's bought 'em off.
Reserve.
What?
It's not called a reservation in Canada. It's called a reserve. And it's not Indian, it's First Nations.
You like correcting people, don't you, Moskowitz?
I don't understand what you want me to do.
Work for him. Turns out Anderfor needs a hired hand, a librarian. He put an ad in the local shopper, if you can believe that. Your cover story will be that you were visiting family in the area, saw the ad with his name, and couldn't pass up the chance to see him.
My cover story?
To be his librarian, yes.
I would love to be Dr. Anderfor's assistant. Unfortunately, I've already accepted a position with the Pennsylvania State Police.
Where you can look forward to spending the next 10 years earning damn near minimum wage while cleaning out beakers in a filthy lab and trying real hard not to be a woman in a man's job.
And you'd rather I betray an old friend?
Who said anything about betraying? We just want to know what he's up to, and if possible, why he left the country to do it. Look, if he's perfected his technology, we'll pay whatever he wants. It'll be worth it.
Then why not go talk to him?
Intelligence assets are needed elsewhere.
You could always ask the Canadians to check him out.
We could, if we wanted them or anyone else to know what he was doing.
Sorry, I don't really understand.
There would be a fee on top of the student loans.
Pass.
And we could see to that other thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was looking through your file. How long have you been in remission?
What? Are those medical records?
Very thorough ones.
Those are supposed to be confidential.
A lot of things are supposed to be confidential. According to this, the cancer's come back every 5 years since you were 12, right?
Despicable. Arrogant.
First 2 rounds of therapy about bankrupted your father, that in college. And with him gone now and you with all those loans, looks kind of bleak if the cancer comes back. But you've got your pride, your loyalty to the doctor. I get it. But this won't be covert ops. We're not going to put a bag over your head and throw you in the back of a car. No one's making you do anything. We're just making you an offer.
No.
Remember, if the cancer does come back and things don't go your way, we'll come after your ma for the bills and your loans.
What's the mission?
You'll head over the border and spend a few days with family. Say you're tired after school and need a break before starting your new job. First and next week, you dial the number in the ad. Don't try to hide anything. Tell him who you are and that you'd love to work with him.
What if he doesn't give me the job?
Unlikely. Where he's at, the locals run more towards GEDs than master's degrees. He knows you.
And he faked his death to get away from me.
I doubt it was you he was getting away from. If he seems reticent to talk to you, just use your old schoolgirl charms to reassure him. Let him know you mean no harm. Come off curious.
He still might not hire me.
We'll cross that bridge when and if. Cell signal's pretty spotty up there, so you'll have to take a few walks to find one. Look for high ground. It's got a single computer hooked up to the internet by cable, no Wi-Fi, and no landline phone. Nearest town's 5 miles up the road.
What exactly do you want me to do?
Find out how far along he is. If he has the formula, you might see about acquiring it.
I thought you said you'd pay whatever he wanted.
We will, once the package is in hand. Good hunting.
Hello? Dr. Anderfor? Huh?
It is you.
Ah, you scared me.
What are you doing here, Mia?
How did you even sneak up on me like that? I didn't even see you.
Mia, what are you doing here?
I'm sorry. I saw your ad in the paper.
We're a long way from the university.
I'm from here, remember?
What?
I told you on the phone. I'm from Fort Francis, and I've got family in Emo, Sioux Lookout, all over. I was at my aunt's house when I saw a copy of The Shopper, and I couldn't believe it. I
know.
What? Why did you do it? I mean, if you wanted to leave the university, just retire. Don't fake your own death.
You must be tired after your drive. Let me show you to your room.
Dr. Anderfor.
Mia, I was glad when you called. It was good to hear a familiar voice. But if we're going to do this, if we're going to work together, there has to be some rules. First among them, my past decisions are in the past. They're not open for discussion. Do you understand?
Of course.
Okay. I'll show you to your room. And it's very good to see you. And this is the library.
Wow.
Yes, I've not had any help for quite some time. There's plenty of paper notes here. I tried to date everything.
Okay.
Your job will be organizing these and transcribing. This old warhorse here is for the transcriptions. I hope you like typing.
Is that machine connected to the internet?
Oh, Lord, no. It's still running on Windows 95. Not much good for anything but word processing, I'm afraid. You'll back up by burning CDs. I have a spindle over here. I apologize for the state of this place. I haven't had any help for a long time.
Yes.
Do you remember Lily?
Oh, your wife. Yes. Is she here?
She passed on last year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She was my last librarian. She left you with a good foundation. Everything except for the past 10 months or so is utter chaos. But before that, it's all organized. You should have an easy time learning her system. Lily had a remarkable mind.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Well, you have a lot of work to do. I think you'll be interested in how the research is going. Great strides, Mia. Great strides. There's a room with a cot back there. That will be where you sleep. I hope you don't mind bunking with your work.
No, of course not.
There's just me, you, and Lyle. He's a local fellow. Just a high school education, but a real gift for chemistry. Meals are in the cabin. Just fend for yourself. If there's anything you'd like in particular by way of groceries, just let Lyle know. He does the shopping.
That sounds fine. Doctor?
Yes?
I have so many questions.
The answers are all there in those papers, Mia. I'll let you settle in.
Okay, I'll see. Moskowitz log, June 14th, first entry. I'm keeping this log with the voice recorder app on my phone, separate from all the other computers in the compound because I want there to be an accurate record of what's going on here. It seems unlikely that the government will leave Dr. Anderfor alone for much longer, and when they do come for him, I'm sure they'll have a very logical story already in place. That's why I'm keeping this log. I want to make sure the real story is recorded. I've been here 2 days. There's a lot of work to do. The research in dehydrated oxygen therapeutics appears to be going very well. Still, there's something about it that's strange. It's like the focus of Dr. Anderfor's work has shifted somehow. I'm still transcribing work from 9 months ago. Maybe things will make more sense as I get closer to the present. I don't see anyone else much. Dr. Anderfor is in his lab all the time, and Lyle, the local guy who helps out, is virtually mute. I happened to have lunch with him the other day, and he didn't say 2 words. We all have our own little buildings with our own beds. I feel safe enough. I just wonder what Lyle's job here is. I never see him in the lab. Bars, finally.
About damn time.
You said it would be hard to find a cell signal.
Are you away from everyone?
Of course. I hardly see anyone.
What do you have for me?
The work is continuing. He needed a librarian because his wife died a year ago. She'd done the job before.
Wife. Lily?
That's right.
Did you know her?
Met her at department parties once or twice. Why?
Nothing. What else?
That's about it. I'm transcribing notes. Still about 6 months out from the present, and...
And what? What is it?
nothing.
I thought we talked about your misplaced loyalty.
I don't think it's particularly misplaced.
Then I'll keep it simple for you. You know how much you owe in student loans? The loans we're offering to pay?
I think it's 20.
$45,624.19. Don't you think for that amount of money, plus the interest you won't be paying for the rest of your life, I deserve a little confidence? Now tell me, what is it?
It's nothing. It's just a feeling.
Just a feeling has saved my butt more than once. What is it?
Things don't seem right somehow. The research, it's like there's a slightly different focus. I can't explain it.
Well, keep on that. You never know. Weekly updates.
I don't know if I can get out.
Weekly updates.
What a jackass. What? Is someone in there? Is someone there? Dr. Anderfor? Lyle? Hello? 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 Oh, God! What the hell was that?
Wouldn't you like to know?
What the hell?
Mia, that is you. Are you all right?
What? Where am I?
Oh, if you want to camp out, you're more than welcome to, but... Oh, my.
What is it?
You're covered in scratches. Have you been running through the trees?
I don't know.
Well, we've got to get you inside and get those wounds tended to.
What?
What were you doing out here? Oh, never mind. Never mind. Come in. We need to get you fixed up.
Log, June 24th. It's been less than 2 weeks, and it feels like years. Dr. Anderfor hasn't said anything about my little incident in the woods. But I can't think about anything else. And even if I could put it out of my mind, my subconscious doesn't want to let me. The dreams have been strange. I'm always in the woods like I was that night, and she's always there. A presence I can't see, but I can feel. I know it's feminine, I just know. She's there and she's stalking me.
Come closer, little girl.
And then I wake up. Every night I'm having these dreams. It's influencing my work. I'm feeling weak. There was some blood in my urine this morning, first time in 3 years. I need to get to a doctor soon, that much is sure. And that means I need to finish this job. Doctor?
Mia, I keep telling you, don't stand on formality.
Yes, you do keep telling me.
It's Roger.
I'll try and remember. Do you have a minute?
Just putting down some notes. More work for you, I'm afraid.
That's fine. I had to ask you a question.
Yes?
The work, it's not what I expected.
Oh, is the load too heavy? I'm in no hurry here, Mia. There's no grant funding to run out. Take your time.
No, it's not that. It's just...
Yes?
Well, at the university, you worked on dehydrated therapeutics.
Yes.
Are you still working in that area?
Of course. Why would you think otherwise?
I don't know. It just seems that some of the more recent notes, I'm not entirely sure how they apply.
I don't understand.
Well, last week, for example, I was reading about your experiments on various enzymes in the blood substitute. Why on earth would you add animal enzymes to the formula? Those proteins break down much slower, and they're more difficult to rehydrate. How does that help the research?
You know, I'll have to go look at those notes again.
Yes, but why would you even...
Just a silly notion, an experiment.
You spent 3 days on it.
Yes, well, as I say up here in the bush, the mind plays tricks sometimes.
In fact, over the last 3 months, it doesn't seem like you're working on dehydration at all. You're just changing the formula of the blood.
The two are related, Mia.
Yes, but we have very good oxygen therapeutics. Why would you...
You know, I really should get back to work. Would you excuse me?
Of course. Dr. Anderfor was never the secretive type. He didn't care who got the credit, and he was never one to think about patents and which formula would make him rich. But up here, he was much more secretive. And his work, it wasn't making sense. His work was supposed to be on dehydrating artificial blood, but according to his notes, he wasn't working on dehydration at all. He was just messing with the blood, trying new formulas, almost like he was working on a recipe. I knew I needed to figure out what was happening soon, and finally, yesterday I caught a break.
I'm going into Thunder Bay tomorrow. Do you need anything?
No, I think I'm fine.
You like those ramen noodles, don't you? I'll pick up a case.
Sure, that would be fine.
You can look after things while I'm gone.
Certainly. Is there something in the lab?
No, don't worry about that. I want to make sure you'll be okay.
I'm fine, Doctor. Thank you. He left at 8 a.m. I didn't expect him back until nightfall. Lyle, his assistant, had been doing some kind of late-night experiment and would be sleeping all day. I had about 5 hours to get into his lab and learn what I could. Of course, Dr. Anderfor's lab was locked. Thinking through my options, I decided the best one was to force the door, look around inside, and then hope that Lyle and the doctor would believe that it was some random vandals. That, or if I could find what Sergeant Smith was looking for, I could just make a run for it. I didn't really want to do that. Not to the doctor. Turns out it really didn't matter. I went and found a crowbar in the tool shed next to the cabin. But when I returned to the lab, the door was ajar. I had tried it. I was sure I'd tried it. And I was sure it had been locked. But there it was, a sliver of darkness between the door and the doorway. Inside, things were about what I expected. His equipment was a little older than he had back at the university, but I imagine he had to buy most of it used when he got here. I didn't focus much on that. I was more curious about the files. There wasn't much here that I didn't already know. I was the project librarian, after all. More of the same, research that wasn't quite right for some elusive reason.
Batch 3226 complete. I'm hoping the issues our subject complains of are resolved. I'm beginning to lose patience.
The conclusions? Strange. Difficult to follow. Dr. Anderfor seemed to be making progress, but toward what? I was lost in thought, digging through papers. So lost, I guess, that I didn't realize that I wasn't alone. I had turned on a single lamp, just a small one on the desk where I leaned over the papers. I was so distracted, so focused on looking for some clue, that I almost didn't see it. I almost didn't see the ashen hand reach over, just barely into my peripheral vision, and click off the light. For a moment, I was frozen. Then I began to back away slowly from the desk. The door was closed, so the room was pitch black. I hit something and nearly fell. A chair. I rested my hand on the chair back just for a moment, just to steady myself when I felt another hand come down on top of it. A cold hand, freezing cold, like ice.
Don't be afraid. Do you understand me?
Yes.
I'm sorry about the light. I'm just so much more comfortable in the dark.
Could you take your hands off me, please?
Why?
I don't like it.
Very well. There. Better?
Who are you?
Don't you recognize my voice, Mia? Don't you know who I am? Oh, well, that's not surprising, I suppose. There were so many of you fresh-faced little grad students, I can hardly expect them to remember me, considering we met, what, once? Twice?
Lily?
Very good. I do make an impression.
He said you were dead.
Yes, but he said the same thing of himself. It's becoming quite the habit for Roger.
I don't understand.
He's gone for the day, and you were going to break in here. That means you're curious, like a good scientist.
I'm sorry. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Dr. Anderford.
Why would I do that?
What?
Why would I tell Roger that you broke in? That you were so curious, you were ready to break down the door to find out what secrets he was hiding? Why would I tell him that when one of his secrets was me?
I don't know.
Of course not. You lack information. You're not feeling very curious now, you're terrified. But the terror will fade, and curiosity will remain. And you'll be back. Why don't I save us all the trouble? Why don't you just stay?
I don't want...
It is what you want, believe me. You're the sick one, right? The one with cancer.
What does that have to do with...
We have a cure.
What?
We have a cure for you. Permanent, everlasting, and only a few side effects.
He's working on a cancer cure?
Roger, don't be silly. He's an adequate scientist, but he's not that good. No, we discovered on a recent trip to Europe a rather remarkable cure for a great many things. You see, when the body dies, most diseases die with it. Cancer chief among them. You can't have out-of-control cell growth with no life in the cells.
I don't understand.
Don't you? It's simple. Death cures all. Of course, the trick is managing to go on functioning after submitting to the cure.
What are you talking about?
It's almost like being alive. In my case, it was an accident. Roger dragged me to this little school in Romania, the European equivalent of a community college. There was a doctor there that could help with the work, Roger said. Only the doctor's field was a little different from Roger's. He was working with some of the locals, a very old family. Very, very old. One of them, a son I think it was, took a liking to me, and I was just pissed off enough at Roger to do something about it.
You had an affair?
Like the turkey has an affair with a carving knife. They were going to leave me for dead, but Roger begged them to do something. That's Roger, always coming up with a stupid idea at the last minute. So they did. One ritualized blood transfusion later, here I am, talking to you in the dark.
Maybe we should go over to the cabin, get something to eat.
Little girl, was that supposed to be a test? Did you want to see if I'd come out into the daylight?
The
answer is no, Mia. I can't go into the light. Understand?
What do you mean, a cure for me?
What did you think I meant? The cancer is growing again, Mia. I can smell it in you. And you probably don't have very long this time. There would be no student health insurance to offset the cost.
I need to go.
Don't be silly. You're not going anywhere.
I really think I should...
You're not going anywhere, little girl. It's been a long time since I tasted fresh blood.
Let go of me!
Trust me, you're going to like this. Well, not at first.
You're hurting me!
Quit squirming. It'll just be our little secret.
Let go!
Mia, trust me. Death is everything it's cracked up to be.
The Vampire, written by Jeffrey Adams. Starring Autumn Silvers, Justin Kapla, Doug Screef, and Ayla McIntosh. Tune in next time on Radio Icebox for the conclusion of our story.
Everyone, hold hands.
Are you sure this will work without Jennifer?
The circle is better with 5, but we can make do.
Thank you for helping, Abby.
You're all idiots.
You still maintain that there is nothing to the spiritual world.
I'm here, aren't I?
Yes, but your negative vibrations will have adverse effects. You must concentrate. You must be open to the spirits.
Last chance, Cody. Tell me what kind of illusion you cooked up with Dr. Graves.
Last time, Abby, I didn't cook up anything.
Would you two be quiet? I'm trying to get into the mood here.
You mean into the spirit of things?
What?
I'm sorry, I crack myself up sometimes.
What kind of a medium are you?
Well, actually, I'm more of an extra large.
What?
I'm sorry. I always get a little giddy at seance time. I'm working on it.
Please do. Our friend's life may be at stake.
Of course. His very being is at stake. Let's grill some ghosts. Get it? Stick? Grill?
No.
Oh, I get it.
We need to do this, Madame Viola. Whatever's happened to Dr. Graves is... Oh, I get it. Steak grill.
See?
It's terrible.
Oh, you're just an old fuddy-duddy. Lighten up. This is a seance, not a funeral.
We don't know what happened to Dr. Graves.
Yeah. Keep your shirt on.
Thank you.
Here we go. Just a second now.
Have we started?
No, I am thinking. Wait a minute. Where is that book?
What?
You don't know how to do this?
Nobody knows how to do this.
I just need a minute. If you get the incantation wrong, it can really mess things up.
What do you mean, mess things up?
There. Page 233. I thought so.
Oh, good. Now that we have the page right, I'm sure we'll be able to raise the dead with no trouble.
Quiet. Join hands.
How many times have you done this?
It's all right. I've seen it done 100 times.
Seen it done?
Well, I've heard about it. Dr. Graves is a very descriptive storyteller.
Dr. Graves? Dr. Graves, the crazy scriptwriter who set up his home with talcum powder dust and rubber spiders?
Well, maybe so. But this book is the real deal. See there? Necronomicon, 5th edition.
What? Is that a Kindle?
It will be fine.
You're reading your copy of the Necronomicon on a Kindle.
I'm not so sure about this.
Don't break the circle. It is imperative we maintain contact.
Oh, okay.
Very well. Spirits, come before us. Spirits, appear before us.
It's working.
Cody, if you set up more special effects...
I didn't. I swear.
In the name of the four winds, we demand the one called Graves. Return Graves to us. Menudo ses necroromedon. Menudo ses necroromedon. Well, that never happened before.
What? What do you mean?
There is supposed to be a loud crack, a rift opens in time and space, and Dr. Graves tumbles out covered in ectoplasm.
Really?
Well, that's how it looked on YouTube.
Oh, my God.
Well, I have said I have never done it before. I had to do my research.
Okay, can we break the stupid circle now? I have to get down there and do the call-in show after the play.
Oh, that's right. We all have to get down there.
Wait! Don't move!
What is it?
I have made a horrible error. I said return Graves to us instead of return Dr. Graves to us.
So?
So according to the book, we should not break the circle.
What? Ever?
Oh, this is stupid. I've got a show to do.
Wait! Don't!
The gypsy woman has released
was that?
Not again.
What did you do?
Well, the good news is, I think Dr. Graves is somewhere in the building.
That's fantastic.
And is there bad news?
No, of course not. A little bit, yes.
What is it?
All the other ghosts from Graves Manor?
Yes.
They're now here, too.
This has been Radio Icebox, Season 1, Episode 4, Who You Gonna Call? Starring Ayla McIntosh as Abby, Cody Boyer as Cody, Jeffrey Adams was JJ, and Scotta Turner was Jennifer. Our special guest star this evening was Victoria Olsen, who portrayed Madame Biola. Direction and post-production by Jeffrey Adams. The song this week was In My Head by Paper Parlor. Learn more about them and buy their new album Dream Screen at paperparlor.bandcamp.com. The Radio Icebox Playhouse theme song is Monkeys Spinning Monkeys by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. The radio play was part 1 of The Vampire by Jeffrey Adams. Look for part 2 to appear on your podcast feeds on the day of All Hallows Eve. Radio Icebox Season 1 is made possible in part by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Arrowhead Regional Arts Council, thanks to appropriations from the Minnesota State Legislature's General and Arts and Cultural Heritage funds.